Well, it's great news for England at the World T20. Just look at this. England top of their group with one game to play. In fact, there's only one more match. It's England against Pakistan. And so, with England and India both on 6 points, they are topping the group, and top two teams go through to the semi-finals. Now, England are ahead with one game to play, and so you'd think that actually they're going to win. They have to top the group. But bizarrely, there's an extra thing that makes that not quite true, and that is called net run rate. It's possible that India could overtake England despite England having a game in hand. Here's why. Now, before we talk about net run rate, let's talk about run rate. Run rate is quite a simple idea. It's how fast you score your runs. Similar to goal difference in football, run rate is used, or net run rate is used to distinguish between teams on similar points. And your run rate is very simple. How many runs did you score, and how many overs did you take to score them? There's one extra piece of information. If your team is all out before their 20 overs, then you still have to divide by 20. All right, now let's give us an example scenario. Let's suppose England bat first and score 140 runs in their 20 overs, so their run rate is 7. If Pakistan bat next and they manage just 110 runs, then 110 divided by 20 is 5.5. So England's run rate 7, Pakistan's run rate 5.5. Now, to calculate net run rate, it's your rate minus your opponent's. And this is crucial, because now you can see that the side losing will get a negative run rate. All right, let's look at a second scenario, not so favourable to England. Let's imagine Pakistan batting first and scoring 140, giving them a net run rate of 7. But what if England bat and just collapse? Then they score 60 in 20 overs, and their run rate is 3. But because of the net run rate formula, we have a massively negative net run rate, and that could impact the lead. You see, in a league, your net run rate is found by combining all of your games. So let's have a look at what our net run rate is so far and how we calculate it. Here's a spreadsheet. Overall, we've scored 396 runs in 48 and a third overs, and that gives us just a simple division, meaning our run rate is just over 8. Whew. Now look at these exclamation marks. They just mean that we can't put a score in here yet because it's dividing by 0. Spreadsheets don't like dividing by 0, but as soon as we put some runs in, that will all change. So let's supposing we scored 100 in 20 overs. There we go. Our run rate would be 5. Now let's give us a worst case scenario. Let's supposing Pakistan scored 100 in 10 overs. Their run rate would be 10. They'd win the game. So our net run rate would be -5. But that's not the whole story, because if you look at the total number of runs, then you'll see that we have scored 496 runs in the tournament in just over 68 overs, which gives us a run rate of 7.2. And against us, 480 runs in 70 overs, 6.8. The difference between those then is 0.34. So even if we had a disastrous all-out for 100 game, we'd still win the group. But actually, let's say they batted first and got 150, and then that would give them 7.5, and then we rule out 50 in 20 overs, 2.5. So there you go, net run rate -5. And now look what's happened. Our net run rate for the tournament has now dropped to negative 0.14, meaning we're actually below India, and they would win the group. Now, don't panic, we will still go to the semi-finals, but we will play the second place team in the other group and avoid Australia. So anyway, whatever happens, good luck to the England ladies team this afternoon, and we'll see you in the semi-finals.